Hey guys, welcome back to Admiral Reviews. So this week I want to talk about the new chapter of My Hero Academia, chapter 127. So to start, I want to talk about last chapter, just a quick summary. So last chapter, Izuku finally meets Sir Night-Eye, and he finally gets the introduction to him because Mirio Tagata introduces him because he's the intern. And we learn that Sir Night-Eye is a crazy All Might fan. Like, he's probably the biggest otaku of All Might that any anime person could ever even think about. Like, he has books on him, he has limited edition posters of him. So Sir Night-Eye, he adores, or he loves the image of All Might, because he was his sidekick. So I guess you would, in order to be the sidekick to the #1 hero, have to really love him a lot. So Mirio Tagata says that even though Sir Night-Eye has a very serious demeanor, he really loves comedy. So, make sure on your first impression that you make a good impression. So Izuku is like, all right, I really don't know comedy or anything, so I'm going to try my best to make him laugh. So on his first impression, when they first meet each other, Izuku immediately does he tries to do the best All Might impression that he can possibly do. And of course, being, the biggest All Might fan, Sir Night-Eye's like, are you trying to make fun of him? And we're trying to figure out, oh shit, did he mess up? Did he not do something good? And so the reason why Sir Night-Eye, questions Izuku is because he's like, oh, your eyes are not the same centimeter as All Might's. All Might's is 0.06 centimeters, and you're not doing the right impression. And so Izuku, being just as big as an All Might fan, he rebuttals back to me. He's like, well, I'm doing the All Might face of the 1982 interview. And Sir Night-Eye is like, that wasn't a real date, I just made that up. But he's just the biggest fan that Sir Night-Eye is. And they go back and forth. And I think Sir Night-Eye kind of appreciates, the fact that Izuku, he already sees that Izuku is just as big as a fan that Sir Night-Eye is. So I think he kind of likes that aspect about him. So then moving on to the chapter, Night-Eye's like, okay, you want to be an intern? Izuku's like, yeah, I want to be an intern. I really want to get stronger. And then Night-Eye's like, all right, where's your contract? And of course, being punctual, Izuku has the contract ready. And so Night-Eye brings up his stamp. He's like, all right, I'll stamp it. And he is the most epic thing ever. He slams that shit so hard. He doesn't stamp the paper. And at this moment, Night-Eye Night-Eye's body expressions are so funny. At certain points, he's very normal, he's dressed in a nice suit, and then the next moment, his body expressions are so exaggerated. Like, the seam of his neck is just elongated, and he looks like he's cutting Izuku's ass, like, you Captain Kaneko belt buckle looking ass, boy. Boy, I'm about to cut your ass, boy. Bring that ass here, boy. You All Might fake looking ass person, boy. I'm about to cut your ass. He's like, he starts to bring up the question, well, Izuku, what can you do for this company? Like, this company with the 2 sidekicks he already has, which AK we know one sidekick is Bubble Girl, but we don't know who the other sidekick is. And he says he already has a great student intern. So really, what can you offer me? And Izuku's like, oh, what can I offer you? He really doesn't know. So Izuku really doesn't have an answer for that question. Like, what can he offer? And he's like, all right, I have a challenge for you. So Night-Eye brings up the challenge that you have 3 minutes to take this stamp. And in these 3 minutes, if you can get this stamp, you can stamp that contract and you can be part of my company. I'll take you on as an intern. And so before he starts the challenge, he tells Mirio and his sidekick Bubble Girl to leave the room. And this is where we get the idea that, they ask each other, well, did you have to do this? And Mirio's like, no, Night-Eye just kind of picked me up for my internship. And Bubble Girl's like, yeah. So this is where we find out that he does, even though he may not be showing it, he does actually have, an interest in, Izuku. So that's also a good thing. But then we head back to the room and, he's like, all right, let's start the challenge. And I'm really glad of Izuku for this part. Izuku, he's always a worrier. He's the one to ask many questions. He gets nervous in certain situations. But, he has these little thought bubbles. But then in the next panel, he's ready to go. And I'm really glad, he reacts quick. Because, Izuku could really, sometimes doubt himself. But in this situation, he gets down to being serious real quick. So I'm really proud of Izuku for that. And that also shows progression in his character in this series. So Izuku charges at Night Eye in his full cow state, and he's being serious. Night Eye already told him, he said, you could do whatever you want, you can attack me, you can do whatever to this office, but you just have to get this stamp in 3 minutes. So Izuku's going at him full power, and he's not even playing around. But this is where we find out Night Eye already knows Izuku's plan, because Night Eye has a quirk that as long as he touches you and he makes eye contact with you, and he can keep eye contact, he can tell what you're gonna do in the next hour. Which an hour is kind of crazy. If, like, in the midst of battle, an hour, you can already end the battle in an hour. So that's a pretty kind of overpowered quirk. But nobody knows that you have to keep eye contact with him. Maybe that's why he has these glares that are so strong, so people keep eye contact with him. But so yeah, so Izuku is kind of fucked, because Izuku's thinking, okay, I'll try and outsmart him, which is kind of Izuku's only plus to him. Izuku, he has all one for all, but he doesn't have the full power as All Might did. So Izuku using his intelligence is one of his strong points, and that's not going to help him here, because Night Eye already knows what he's going to do, his next 3 moves. So it's kind of hard to use your intelligence when your opponent knows your moves already. So Izuku's already having a hard time. And then a minute goes by, and Izuku's already starting to doubt himself. And Night Eye he brings the biggest shit talking that I've ever seen before. He's like, you should fret, you should be worried, Izuku, because, you don't deserve this, you don't deserve this power. Night Eye just goes off. He's like, even though I respect All Might, I never respected that decision for him to give you the power. There were so many more people worthy of getting that power, and you don't show you don't deserve the power. And he was trying to say Muriel Togatsu, he's like, that's the person that should have received the power. We could have already had a #1 hero to fill in All Might's position if Muriel had got it instead of you. And this triggers the shit out of Izuku. Izuku starts thinking about all the moments that All Might had, All Might giving him the power, him training, and this is where the chapter ends. It ends crazy, because then Izuku's just like, alright, I'm about to go old. He's like, All Might entrusted me, I don't care what you have to say, I'm going off. And so he goes into this crazy, quick attack mode, and he's all over the place. And I'm so proud of Izuku for this shit. Like, this was a great chapter and a progression for Izuku, because for the last 2 chapters, the series has kind of been like, they've been ganging up on Izuku. They've been showing that, Izuku, even though you're doing a great job in progressing, you shouldn't have probably have got this power. In order for, the next hero who could have been #1 to arise, Muriel Togatsu had way more signs of being a better hero than you could have possibly have been. And, Izuku, he's showing like, okay, people are saying this shit, I'm taking this in, but you know what, I can't let that affect me. I have to show my worth, and I have to show what All Might saw in me, and I have to show that to everybody else. And he does at the end of this chapter. And just the scene of him going all over the place, crazy, I just can't wait for the next chapter to see how Izuku gets that stamp, because I fucking know he's gonna get that stamp. So, great chapter. My Hero Academia is really starting to warm up again. I'm telling you, after that villain chapter that we had, now this, like, I really see something great starting to happen in these future chapters. Also, I wanted to end this off of a idea that I've been having. Every time I see Muriel Togatsu, I feel like something is going to happen relating to this character. I don't know whether it's a feeling about him dying in the future, or maybe him turning, or maybe deep down he's really jealous that he didn't get the power. But every few panels I see of Muriel Togatsu, I'm like, yo, there's just something about you that's screaming like you're gonna be a difference player in these few chapters. Like you're gonna be an important key. But that's all I gotta say about this chapter, My Hero Academia. Great chapter, great build up, and that's all I gotta say. So other than that, I gotta say, have a nice ass day. Hey guys, did you like the video? please, if you did so, please hit that like button. If you have any questions you would like to ask, please put them down in the comments section. I'll be willing to answer any question that you have. And if you like what I'm doing with the channel and you want to see more, please hit the subscribe button so you'll be notified on my future videos. And other than that, all I gotta say is have a nice ass day.